Good evening and welcome to the 6 o'clock report of Eyewitness News. I'm Bill Applegate.
And I'm Cicely Hand. It came just a couple of hours ago, a tentative agreement to end the 81-day nationwide coal strike. President Carter announced the settlement just 2 hours before a scheduled news conference in which he apparently was prepared to announce drastic action to get the mines operating again. Carter called on the rank and file of the United Mine Workers to ratify the agreement at once. ABC News will have more on this late-breaking story immediately following Eyewitness News.
This is KEZI, Eyewitness News.
Good evening and welcome to the Thursday 11 o'clock edition of Eyewitness News. I'm Don Clark with Rosemary Reed.
And now a KEZI Eyewitness News brief.
Good evening. Iran has a new proposition, but it's doubtful anyone will think it's better than the old one. More hostage pictures today by satellite from Iran. And the Weyerhaeuser company says although the economy is down, its corporate health is good. Now this. In sports, the Beavers advance in the Far West Classic, and there are bowl games galore to talk about. Tracy Ray will be here to do the talking, and I'll be here with the news 27 minutes from now.
And now a news break from KEZI Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Steve Frank. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 11, 18 cars of a freight train derailed near Hood River, Oregon this morning. Meanwhile, 7 people have died on Oregon highways during this long holiday weekend, including a Eugene man and a Newport woman. A new Oregonian poll shows President Reagan's support in Oregon has significantly dropped. In sports, Bob Akamian will have NFL. We'll have weather at 11.
Eyewitness News with Penny Havlovic and Paul Swangard with sports. Award-winning news.
Good evening. There's evidence tonight Senator Packwood did attempt to dig into his accusers' sex lives to discredit them.
This is Eyewitness News, the weekend edition.
A normally peaceful apartment complex in southwest Eugene is the site of gunfire tonight. Good evening, I'm Joe English. Kathleen Chu is off. One woman is in serious condition at Sacred Heart Hospital, and police have apparently caught.
This is KEZI News at 11.
The hills around Marcola are the scene of a massive search and rescue effort tonight. Good evening, I'm Deanna Connell. Rescuers think they have found the wreckage of a plane missing since Sunday, but the search will be suspended until daybreak. Simon Gutierrez is live near Marcola at the search headquarters. Simon, what do we know about the crash?
You're watching KEZI News at 11 with Carl Torp, Deanna Connell, meteorologist John Fisher, and Mark Larson on sports.
.6:30.
From the coast to the valley to the Cascades, this is KEZI News at 6:30.
When the big one hits Lane County, will your kids be ready? This is assuming, of course, there ever is a big earthquake in Oregon's future.
You're watching 9 News, the Roseburg and Coos Bay Report, with anchor Kim Stark and reporter Brett Von Hoffman. 9 News, your local news team.
Good evening, I'm Brett Von Hoffman. In for Kim.
From the coast to the valleys to the Cascades, you're watching your Get Up and Get Going KEZI 9 Morning News.
Welcome back to KEZI 9 News this morning. Okay, moms, listen up. I can definitely sympathize. Whether you're an A-list Hollywood mom or a regular mom, it's hard to balance work.
From the coast to the valleys to the Cascades, this is KEZI 9 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Teresa John. Thanks for joining KEZI this Saturday night.
Finally, be given the opportunity to know that you'll have your daughter's remains brought back to you. We are so grateful.
It's been 5.5 years since Brooke Wilberger disappeared from a Corvallis apartment complex. There was no sign of her until this weekend. Good evening, I'm Brandy Smith.
And I'm Rick Douglas. Investigators say they've recovered the remains of Brooke Wilberger. KEZI 9 News reporter Jeff Skripek is live in Corvallis with tonight's top story. Jeff?
Yeah, investigators say Joel Courtney pleaded guilty to the 2004 abduction and murder of Brooke Wilberger. Now, as a part of that plea deal, he had to help investigators and prosecutors find Wilberger's body. Now, what he did...
Live in the newsroom, Heather Hinsey, KEZI 9 News.
This is KEZI 9 News at 5 with Rick Douglas and Brandy Smith.
Well, it certainly was a very hot afternoon for some, including down towards the South Oregon coast, where temperatures topped in the low 90s out towards Coos Bend and North Bay. And here's what we're looking at across the rest of western Oregon. We've still got those red flag warnings out, and the crux of that heat is going to start to work its way inland, so expect things to really sizzle tomorrow.
It's great. I can't think of a better venue than to have it here at Hayward Field in Eugene, so it's been exciting so far.
Straight ahead, opening day of the U.S. Olympic track and field trials is almost over. We have complete coverage of Eugene 08. KEZI 9 News at 11 starts right now.
This is KEZI 9 News at 11.
Opening day of the track and field trials here in Eugene, and we're continuing our complete team coverage of the events surrounding the trials. For months, organizers have been gearing up for today.
This is KEZI 9 News at 11 with Rick Douglas and Brandy Smith. Now, your first forecast on KEZI 9 News.
Well, we're still looking at a few showers popping up on the Oregon radar sweep, and that does include places up around, you see, Portland, and then southward down towards the central sections of the...
About her husband.
Connecting you in high definition, this is KEZI 9 News at 6.
Tough discovery for friends and family of the Eugene Ballet Company.
Connecting you, this is KEZI 9 News at 6 with Matt Templeman, Renee McCullough, and Chief Meteorologist Justin Stapleton.
Supporters of same-sex marriage were...
Connecting you in high definition, this is KEZI 9 News at 6:30.
The Lane County Sheriff's Office will begin getting...
Watching out for you. This is a special presentation of KEZI 9 News. Your voice, your vote, 2014.
Tonight, Oregonians on the verge of making history. This election, voters face some big decisions about the state's future on their ballots, including who will lead us for the next 4 years, plus Measure 91, which could legalize recreational marijuana, and Measure 92, which could require the labeling of genetically modified food. Thank you for staying up with us tonight for this special edition of KEZI 9 News.
But several women have said that you made them uncomfortable, you continued to harass them.
Breaking his silence, Roseburg Senator Jeff Cruz is tracked down amid calls from his colleagues to resign. What he has to say. Plus, this high-speed chase that stretched more than 80 miles will show you where it ended.
And our weather pattern is becoming a little bit more active. I'll show you when chances for rain arrive coming up now at KEZI 9 News this morning.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's 5 a.m. Thursday, February 8th. I'm Brian Anderson. Sean Quayer is out sick. Let's check in with Storm Tracker 9 meteorologist Dave Holder with a look at your weather and traffic every 9 minutes. And Dave, we've got some cold temperatures behind you there.
Yeah, looking at cold temperatures once again this morning. A very repetitive pattern.
Yeah.
We're doing it all over again today with warm afternoon highs, but cool start to the morning here. Let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures to start you off here. Upper 30s through the Willamette Valley right now. Out to the coast.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News this morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jessica Babb. It's 8 o'clock on December 7th, and we are going to get to those top stories in just a moment. But first, we've been tracking some pretty wet, rainy weather today. And Andy, are we going to see that happen all day?
The good news is we're not going to see it all day long. There will be some breaks.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News Midday.
Eugene Police is asking for your help to help identify 4 suspects involved in an assault that happened earlier last Saturday.
Watching out for you. This is KEZI 9 News at 5.
Eugene police are investigating a rape that officers say happened near Autzen Stadium last night. Good evening, I'm Jessica Debus. A 17-year-old male is in jail accused of beating and raping a 39-year-old woman.
Now on KEZI 9 News at 6, is Oak Ridge a small town with a big problem? What neighbors think after a deadly explosion this week after a string of violent crimes this year. Also, the search is on for a driver involved in a shootout near a shopping center in Eugene. What we know about the car he was driving. And live coverage from the field in Pasadena, where the Oregon Ducks just claimed victory against Wisconsin in this year's Rose Bowl. KEZI 9 News at 6 starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 6.
Oh my goodness, it was a back and forth nail biter of a game in Pasadena tonight. The Oregon Ducks come out with a win over Wisconsin in the War of the Roses. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Renee McCullough and Matt has the night off. We're going to get straight to our coverage. Robbie Fueling.
Now, from KEZI 9 News, this is college football game night.
Well, the Civil War, a great rivalry as always, a great game night ahead of us. This is a very happy former Oregon fullback Juan Jedrick. I'm Andrew Hodmer with you this evening. Juan,
I really enjoy getting out on holidays. It's better than being cooped up in the house.
Now on KEZI 9 News at 11, the pandemic has changed the way people celebrate holidays across the country. With Father's Day today and 4th of July around the corner, hear how many people in our community are getting creative with their plans.
You're just feeling like you're being forgotten, or just because you're an independent contractor means you don't deserve recognition.
Plus, many Oregonians who work as independent contractors are still waiting for their unemployment benefits. Hear what advice some have for those who are still waiting, as KEZI 9 News at 11 starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 11.
Thank you for staying up with us. I'm Jillian Smuckler. We begin with Oregon's fight against COVID-19. Lane County saw 7 new cases today. This is the first time Lane County has seen that many new cases in months. One man is dead and a mother and daughter are injured after an attack last night. The latest information when KEZI 9 News returns in 60 seconds.
We're all winners in helping our veterans.
Now on KEZI 9 News at 11, a fire truck that served the Harrisburg community for 20 years moved to its new home today to help veterans. We have all the details coming up.
And it was a nice and sunny day across Western Oregon today, but tomorrow it's going to be a bit different. I'll let you know how long that rain will last as KEZI 9 News at 11 starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 11.
We begin tonight in Eugene, where police are looking for a man who allegedly slashed another man, sending him into emergency surgery.
Now on KEZI 9 News this morning, friends are speaking out about 3 young lives lost in Douglas County in an alleged DUI crash, how they want them to be remembered. Plus, lightning strikes are responsible for igniting dozens of fires across Oregon. We're going to take a look at which ones firefighters are aggressively going after.
And we're starting off with plenty of clouds across western Oregon. It's thicker across the coast, but low-level clouds have moved into the valleys. We're starting off in the lower 60s. Remember yesterday morning, we were in the 70s, so things are cooling down already this morning. 84 degrees the forecast high for Friday. Slightly warmer into the weekend. Your full details as KEZI 9 News this morning starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News this morning.
Pretty sad and just lost for words.
This morning, loved ones of those lost in a deadly crash are speaking out.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News this morning with Jamie Hayes and meteorologist Matt Kontarek.
South Eugene High School is getting ready to do something they haven't done in 3 years.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News Midday.
We're starting this midday with an update on a body that was found in the Willamette River back on August 7th. Thank you for joining us here. I'm Jamie Hayes.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News Midday with Jamie Hayes and meteorologist Matt Kontarek.
Welcome back. We have a follow-up this morning on the E. coli that was found in Sweet Home's waterway.
You as KEZI 9 News at 4 begins right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 4.
A man is in jail this afternoon, a person of interest in the death of an elderly woman in Springfield.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 4 with Ariel Yakabazi and Chief Meteorologist Dylan Robichaud.
The wait is over in Las Vegas. The Pac-12's men's basketball tournament is officially underway, but the wait is still going for the Oregon State Beavers to get started.
At 5 starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 5.
Crews continue to fight the Cedar Creek fire near Oak Ridge, but today they packed up and moved on from Oak Ridge Elementary as the school prepares to welcome back students in just a couple of weeks. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Templeman.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 5 with Matt Templeman, Renee McCullough, and Chief Meteorologist Dylan Robichaud.
St. Vincent de Paul is looking to hire dozens of employees for all kinds of different positions.
To help lower those numbers. Coming up next is KEZI 9 News at 6 starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 6.
We begin tonight with our fire watch coverage, and a new crew is taking over command to try to contain the Cedar Creek fire. Thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Templeman.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 6 with Matt Templeman, Renee McCullough, and Chief Meteorologist Dylan Robichaud.
The American Cancer Society Relay for Life of Eugene Springfield is gearing up for their annual event tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon, you can join both caregivers and survivors in an effort to support a cancer-free society. Money raised goes towards cancer research and providing support for patients and their families. For more than 35 years, Relay for Life has honored and remembered lost loved ones as well as cancer survivors.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 11.
Good evening. We begin with some heartbreaking news from Oregon's fire lines. For the second time this year, a firefighter has died while fighting a wildfire in Oregon.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News at 11 with Carly Tinsley and Chief Meteorologist Dylan Robichaud.
The FDA says children will have access to the new COVID-19 boosters coming this fall. The agency says updated boosters to protect from the BA4 and BA5 strains of the virus will be available by early to mid-September.
Now on Oregon News Now this morning, an SUV hitting a jaywalker sparked a crazy scene in Eugene. We'll tell you why it ended with 2 other men facing charges. Plus, after the murder of United Healthcare's CEO, the words deny, defend, depose have been seen in graffiti across the country. We'll show you what Oregon city the message was spotted in. And we were dry the past few days, no longer the case. It's going to be a wet weekend and a wet week ahead. We'll have your full forecast as Oregon News Now this morning starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is Oregon News Now this morning.
Good Saturday morning, folks. Thanks for starting your weekend off with us on Oregon News Now. I'm Joey Vaca. Now, like I said, if you put away the umbrella, it might be time to grab it again because it is going to be a wet weekend all across the state. Why don't we send it on over? Take a look at these cameras. You're seeing Eugene, Medford, Phoenix, Roseburg, everywhere is going to be hit with that rain today. And for a little bit of a more detailed look at what we'll be dealing with this weekend, why don't we send it on over to meteorologist Holden LaCroix for your forecast.
Now, your first forecast.
Good Saturday morning. It is a rainy start to the day with temperatures in the 40s, and we're not going to be warming up much.
Live, local, late breaking. This is Oregon News Now at midday.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on this Friday for Oregon News Now at midday. I'm Matt Templeman. We will take a look right now across our region. Live weather cams from Eugene, Medford, Roseburg. Look at Mount Shasta. Ain't that a gorgeous sight? Joy, I see Holden LaCroix joining us now with a first look at your forecast.
Yeah, taking the reins off of Joey this morning. Temperatures around 42 degrees down across areas of Mount Shasta area as well as Medford right now. 54 down toward Mount Shasta, excuse me. We've had some low clouds out toward the Klamath Basin and areas of Lake County. Not necessarily fog, but some low stratus clouds have led to those cooler temperatures right now. But if you're
Next on Oregon News Now at 11, a dog owner is asking for the public's help after both his dogs were found dead with gunshot wounds. Plus, how one city is preparing residents for potential floods and what ODOT is doing to prepare streets for this storm.
And rivers, streams are on the rise. Numerous flood warnings in place, and we'll take a look where and how long this is going to last. That's coming up in Oregon News Now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is Oregon News Now at 11.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Aaron Ariano. We'll get to all your top stories around Western and Southern Oregon. But first, let's take a live look outside at our storm tracker weather cams. Looking at
Listen to KEZI 9 News at 5 while you drive on 840 AM.